Welcome to the Dream Big, Ball Hard podcast with your girl Venus Mack-Hal and your boy I Am Your Brand Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back, guys. Man, it has been a while, hasn't it, V? Man, I feel like we took a sabbatical.
It's important to know when it's time to step back and then come back refresh.
Yup, and take a break and look at it and everything like that. Yo, but here we are. We are actually going to round off our season with 10 episodes. So this is episode 10. Episode 10. We have been at this. We have 10 episodes of Dream Big Ball Hard podcast. So welcome to the Dream Big Ball Hard podcast season finale. Let's just call it, because when we come back, we're going to be back on season 2, y'all. Season 2.
And the finale is juicy.
Yeah, y'all. We got something for y'all. We had to come back and just make sure that, everything was airtight, but we got our businesses rolling. We got, our own things going, and we are excited about it. We got some new things popping in the future. But V, you know how we start this thing off. We got to talk about our big dream. Like, what have you been big dreaming since the people last heard from you?
My big dream, I've been dreaming about this for a while, but I am dreaming about starting something big. Like I know that doesn't say a lot, but
I've been big dreaming about big dreaming.
No, but like starting like a corporation.
Ooh.
Like something like really huge. I've been dibbling and dabbling. I know me and you have been talking about like my wife coaching, starting like some type of firm. Like I feel like I'm dreaming bigger now. Like I'm going corporate in my business. That's my big dream, is to take my business to the next level.
So like a corporate coaching firm. Mm-hmm. Hey, I love it. Okay. My big dream, I have been, and we talked about this for sure, but my big dream, and I have put it into play, is the Josiah Enterprise Theater Festival going down. Yes, yo, I can't wait either. So it's the last 2 weeks of August. I went on and booked this theater. My theater. I've been working with this theater for the past over a decade now. Plays and Players Theater in Philadelphia in the Rittenhouse Square area. The last 2 weeks of August, it will be popping. Yeah, fancy.
If you're not from Philly, Rittenhouse Square is like fancy.
It's fancy. It's the ritzy area, yo. It's the rich area, and so so it's going down, yo. I'm getting all of the treatments together. I also got two local playwrights that are going to be putting on their show as well. So we got some sponsorships starting off and going on already. So we're gonna have 2 other shows. I'm running all 3 of my plays. That's Black Love, Secrets, and It Could Be Worse. The plays are already written. We are going to be going into rehearsal the second week of April. Starting off auditions literally this week. So we're recording around like this is the second to last week of March right now that we're recording. And so you're probably when you hear this, we're probably going to be in full swing, but that's what the big dream is all about right now, man. Ending off this last year with a whole theater festival, man. Last time I did a festival, it was a lot of work. So I'm hoping that I learned from, past mistakes and failures and are able to, kick this joint off. Now, the last time I did it was definitely a success. I had failures on some people's shows, but I'm changing around my structure a little bit and how I allow other people to come in and get their show, so I can make sure I leave with my bag at the end of the day.
I love that. Give me the dates. Because I have my calendar out. I'm marking.
Let me give you these dates. I know
you told me, but give me the dates again, because I want to be there for you.
Yes, biggest fact ever. So we have 2 shows. We have 2 artists. They're going up on August 17th and 18th. That's a Thursday and Friday. And then my show, Black Love, runs August 19th and August 20th. That's a Saturday and Sunday. And then I come back with It Could Be Worse on Thursday, August 24th and August 25th. And then I round it off with the finale production of Secrets, one of my favorites. This is my favorite show I've ever written. It's juicy. August 26th and August 27th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. I can't wait, yo. I can't wait. I put on Black Love. I've put on Black Love twice, and It Could Be Worse twice. I haven't done Secrets twice. I only done it once, so I can't wait to bring it back.
I love it. So yeah.
That's our big dreams. So here we go. Episode 10. Y'all, I hope y'all throw y'all big dream caps on, because we're ready to talk about this in episode 10. Why small businesses fail. Why do small businesses fail? So I got a couple of lists up here, and V and I are just going to kind of run down this list, and just kind of talk about the validity of it, how we kind of, got through these obstacles of not failing and being in business for so long. But I want to get the actual number, V, on how many businesses, like the percentage. What's the percentage of businesses that fail in the first 5 years?
Are you asking me, or are you going to get the numbers?
I'm getting the numbers.
I don't know. But no, and so this show is also in hopes is that we can help somebody not fail. Hopefully we can talk about something or pinpoint something that happened throughout our journey in entrepreneurship and talk about how we got over that hurdle. And also in the comments, if you're in a comment and something happened to you and you got over the hurdle, put it down in the chat, because you guys help us as well. So it's not just us helping you guys. Like we're a family right now. So if something you've been through, like put it down. And then also another piece is that if you fell in the first 5 years, do it again.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Do it again. Fail forward, Joe. I had a mentee of mine. I was talking to him, and he had me. I love this. I take this statement to life, yo. He said, "Yo, even if you fail forward, you're still making He said you're still making. It wasn't you're still making horizontal progress. He said even if you fail forward, even if you fall failing forward, you're still making horizontal progress because you're falling forward. You're falling forward. So
I get it.
Here we go. Data from the BLS. I have no idea what the BLS is right now. Maybe y'all can put this in the chat for me. Y'all probably looking at like BLS. Data from the BLS, probably like Business League or something. Now I'm going to have to go.
I'll Google it while you're
Google it for me. So we don't sound stupid in front of these people. But the BLS, data from the BLS shows that approximately 20% of new businesses fail during the first 2 years of being open. 45% during the first 5 years and 65% during the first 10 years. Only 25% of new businesses make it to 15 years or more. Whew.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, man. And if you that's a lot. So now I got to look this up. So y'all got that 20% of new businesses fail the first 2 years, 45 within the first 5 years, 65 within the first 10 years, and only 25% of new businesses make it in 15 years or more. Now I got to look up how many businesses on average start up every year in the US. Let's just do the US.
So he's on a roll right now.
I love data. So I'm like how
right. So while he's looking it up, I want to put this in that the BLS stands for the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Okay. So they would know. All right. So let's look at 2022. How many businesses started? Crazy. 5 million. 5 million new businesses were created in 2022, according to the estimates, and 42% increased from pandemic levels. So 5 million businesses. Now let me pull out this calculator.
And after that, I need you to get off these numbers because you're gonna go on and on and on. God, reel him in, guys. I know how to deal with him.
All right, 5 million times, let's say 25%, 5 million times, that's 0.25. So out of 5 million, only 1,250,000 businesses will be around in 15 years. In 15 years. Wow. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Out of 50 million, yo. No. 5 million. Out of 5 million, 100. No, out of 5 million. 1,250,000 businesses will still be around in 15 years. So that means that is 3,750,000 businesses will fail. Ooh, right? Jeez. I'm sorry, I gotta do this one 5 million times. Because they say how many was gonna fail in the first year. I just gotta see how many are not gonna be around.
So get that number because
all right. And this is my last one. All right, so in the first 2 years, they said 20% is gonna fail. So that was 5 million starting in 2022. So the first year we have 1 million that are going to fail.
And can we do the number like 1 out of 10? Can we bring the number down smaller to make it a little bit more realistic for some people who can't work with big numbers?
Well, I don't even know how to do that.
I don't either. So if 10 businesses was started.
If 10 businesses started, if 10 businesses started, the 20% of 10 businesses, so 2 of those businesses will fail the first year.
Okay.
Yep. If we do 10 businesses, 2 of those businesses will fail the first year. I can do that math easy in my head. Let's look at 10 times 45%. Approximately about 5%, 4.5, 4.5 businesses will not make it past the first 5 years. And if we do the whopping 65% times 65, about 6.5, 7% of 7 of those businesses will not make it. So that means only 3 of the businesses actually will make it in 15 years if 10 businesses started.
And that makes more that I told them to break it down for me, y'all. So don't feel bad if you like, well, I don't need to break it down. I did.
No, well, listen, it puts it in very close perspective because even I think I might have even maybe got the percentages or the numbers wrong. I'm not going to go back because if we're counting the businesses that fail.
Yeah, I think 3 would survive and 7 will fail. Yeah. So that's kind of good, y'all.
Yeah, 3 will survive, 7 will fail. But
and it was a 15 years period. So that's a long time. If you really think about it, I've been being a hairstylist for 20 years, but not consistently. I've been doing hair for 20 years, not running a business for 20 years. Like having a brick and mortar. So with a brick and mortar, I'm 9 years in. So I could be one of the percentages that make it. And I also could be one of the percentages that don't make it. And I don't think I want to necessarily say because I fell, because if I keep working, I know for sure I can make it. But sometimes businesses are like seasons. Like I don't have to have a salon for 15 years if I don't want to. That's a long time. I'm 10 years in. Next year I'll be 10 years in. And I don't know if I got 5 more years in me in the salon industry.
So you just said that you probably won't make it that long. What is it that will make you stop that part of your business? Is it fatigue? Is it monotony? What is it?
It's moving on to the next, because now I'm in a coaching space, but let's even take the coaching space. I'm 2 years in coaching. So you're trying to tell me I need 13 more years? I don't know if I'll be coaching for the next 13 years.
Got you. So you're talking about evolution, really.
Yeah, so they may just say the business fell because the business shut down, but let's put into play that maybe the business, okay, so how long have you been doing t-shirts?
I've been doing t-shirts now for about 8 years. I've been doing it for myself. I'm sorry. My numbers are all the way off. So about 5 years I've been doing t-shirts.
So you got 10 more years and you slinging t-shirts?
No, I got literally.
You see what I'm saying?
I have about 2 more years slinging t-shirts in me, but however, that business will continue to go on. And so you bring up my point and just saying okay, how can we set up these businesses? So one, I like what you're talking about here because one reason, and they don't even have this noted. So let me run down, hold that thought, because I'm going to run down this list of what they say, top 10 reasons is, and this is from BOQ website, top 10 reasons why small businesses fail. 1, lack of research. 2, not having a business plan. 3, not having the business funding they need. 4, financial mismanagement. 5, poor marketing. 6, not keeping abreast of customers' needs or the competition. 7, failing to adapt. 8, growing too quickly. That's an interesting one. 9, failing to hire and retain the right people. And 10, not asking for support. So we're going to come down to this list, but I want to touch on what you just talked about because this was not on this list. That's why I said that's not on this list. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs that are at year 8, like they made it past the 5-year mark. They're at year 8 mark and they are becoming very fatigued in the industry which they're in, and they do want to move on. And so I noticed that that's not a part of this list as far as people getting fatigued with their businesses and not having a proper legacy like a structure to keep that business going. So when I scale up out of doing t-shirts, my goal is to pass it down to my cousin, who's the production manager right now. And then he's going to make sure that my child gets it and so on and so forth. So the business will continue to run past 15 years. However, I'm not going to be in it. But you're saying you don't know if your salon is going to be, continuing running because you're running the salon, right? You're the
right. Yeah. And even I can pass it down to somebody and keep it going. But for me, I don't necessarily know if I want, because I have a stylist right now. I no doubt I would pass it down to her if she wanted it. But I don't know if I would be necessarily wanting to pass it down to her more. Would I be rather trying to help her start her own?
I mean, well, wouldn't it be beneficial to pass it down to her and have her run it, learn the ropes so she can go on and get her own while you find somebody to take her place when she goes on and do her own thing?
Yeah, that could be beneficial. But right now I feel like she's learning the ropes by working in the business. I'm just about evolvement. I mean, I can keep her, but if she can start her own, because I would rather her have more years in, because I mean, everybody knows that I'm planning to move in the next 2 years. So that is the plan. Like if she wants to stay in the business, she can stay in the business, but it wouldn't be me giving her my business. It would just be her working in my business. But if I just decided to be like, hey, I'm done with this business, like the Glam Bar is done. I'm not coming back to this town. Then I would give her do you want to buy the business? Not so much the brand, the business, where she can keep the salon, keep everything in the salon, but then she will be creating her own salon under her own brand. I don't want to hold nobody up under my own shit. Now, if it was my daughter, then that's different. Passing it on to my daughter, but my daughter doesn't want to be a hairstylist, and she doesn't want to she doesn't want to be in the beauty industry. So I can see it being passed down that way. But for me, that's just for me.
Yeah, because I would actually have to play angel's advocate on that situation. I feel like, no, don't get rid of that brand. I feel like your hairstylist that is in there could benefit more from the brand than building up her own, because it will take a while to build up her own, whereas you have a whole brand in the salon and a name that people are familiar with. They can Google it. It has the longevity, it has the tenure, it has all of the Google reviews and everything like that. So that's brand equity that she can then make her own and flip and do her own thing in the same sense. But I think it's worth it. Yeah.
And that's true too, because I could and that's what I said. I would never sell the brand, the Glam Bar Salon. I'm not selling that. I would sell her the business, as far as the furniture, the space. That the brand is going to last forever, because let's say 2 years from now, I decide I don't want to do hair no more. But in 5 years, if I do decide to do hair, I'm still coming back as the Glam Bar Salon. So my brand would last.
But now if your brand took a 5-year hiatus, it's almost like you got to continue to rebuild.
Yeah, but get off of me.
No, I'm joking. Stop pointing them fingers. All right, so let me go to this list. Let's see what Forbes says. So Forbes says the top 10 reasons.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Go for it.
I want to talk about that list that you said.
That I just said? Yep.
Yeah, those 10 things all to me yell out selling in the first 2 years.
Yeah.
All of those things was kind of like, I could see that in the beginning.
Yeah, lack of research, people not knowing what they're doing. Yup.
I think that's like, I'm going to say the first 1 to 3 years.
Yeah, I think for sure.
I can see a business. I can see it clearly why business will fall. But I feel like the people that got that longevity in, they not, even if you take a small hiatus, like 5 years may be too long, but like right now with the Dream Big Ball Hard podcast, we are taking a break for, we're wrapping the season up. Shows wrap seasons up all the time, and then they come back. It's still a business long as, you just took a little break.
Yeah, but by that time, you're talking about two different things. Like, so our listeners will come back because they know what to expect from us. Just like you're going to have your customers.
My clients is coming back.
Yeah, no doubt they are. But now you done sent them, because 5 years, they still got to get their hair done. So you done sent them somewhere else that somebody else might be a little, touch them, please them a little bit better. You know,
5 years was 5 years might have been too long.
I mean, how long is too long? Throw that in the chat. Like, how long is too long?
How long is too long? I think it depends on the industry.
It does depend on the industry and your business.
Because if Nike go away for 5 years, I think it can come back in 5 years and still
Oh,
back like it
heck
never
yeah,
left.
man. Those brands like that always bounce back, but that doesn't mean that somebody ain't still that market share. You know what I mean? Like look at Reebok, you know what I mean? Or Keds or something like that. You know what I mean? Like these brands at Adidas, you know, that have
Did they
had their
leave?
spark.
Did they leave though? They
Didn't leave. They just nobody wanted to work because they got whacked. You know what I
Yeah, they
mean?
got whacked.
Because the other brands came around and really absorbed all of their market share. And so you some of them bounced back really well, but that don't mean that everybody that wore a pair of Reeboks or wore AIs back in the day is coming back to slang some Reeboks now. You know what I mean? And it's a whole different generation that they're marketing to. So I think it definitely depends on the industry. So we had lack of research, not having a business plan, not having a business funding they need. I think that's very, very key. I think that's what held me up a lot of times when starting businesses. All my businesses in the past, except for this one, was not having the business funding. So not being aware of business credit, not being aware of credit in general, and just not having the business funding to access in order to go forward. When I started off the t-shirt company with my business partners 5 years ago, that was the first thing I realized is that, you know, they had the capital and the access to push things forward and to take care of it for a year. So if anything, like if we didn't figure it out or get our footing within a year, we were still good. So we weren't struggling around for rent because that was all packed into the capital package. And so that's one thing for sure that I learned is like, yo, make sure that you have that capital. And if you don't have the capital, make sure you have a plan to acquire the capital, you know?
Yeah, it's so crazy when I hear that. And I love that we give off two different perspectives because both of my businesses, I didn't have capital for either one of them. It just was kind of going. But it's funny because I wrote down that so many new businesses started because of COVID. And now I don't know if you was hearing about business funding before COVID, but for me, I knew business funding was a thing. But for me, it wasn't obtainable in my business. Now business funding is because of COVID. So now we're seeing a whole different, and I think that's why 5 million businesses were started in 2022. But I bet you if you go back to 2017, 2016, 2020, it's nowhere near that number. I think COVID has changed the game for everything. So we definitely still have to keep that in play. But I definitely can see how failing in your business could be easy. Like with my business coaching, I would not be able to make it in coaching if I didn't have income from the salon. I see it why people get frustrated and give up and feel unworthy in their business or, you know, struggle. I see it because I just started a new business during the pandemic. So I can see it like, because I would have not made it like without, and I would have had to get some type of other income. So and
that's the other thing I wanted, which I didn't see on here. And well, number 4 here is financial mismanagement or so on and so forth. But to hold that thought, because I want to touch on that. But I want to go back to what you first said about starting off with no business funding, because yes, and in 2 different perspectives, but I still kind of carry your perspective, because what I was going to say is each and every time I went on to do, so when I started doing my productions and my plays, I did not have the business funding for it at all. And I kind of went off of ticket sales, and I really ran myself into the ground and stress trying to make sure tickets got sold. Now tickets got sold. Now, you know how our people do. They show up at the last minute. So the lines were out the door. They were buying tickets at the door. That's cool. And I made the budget, but I don't want to go through that stress. Right. So that's where I was like, okay, it would be good to have the capital. Now, each time I didn't have, now the next time I went after it, I had a little bit of the capital. I didn't have all of it. Right. Which gave me some leeway. Now, let's talk about this time around. This time around, I'm going into this festival. I don't have all the capital, but not only do I have a little bit amount of the capital to get me started, but I also have the exact plan on which how I'm going to acquire exactly what I need to get this budget without ticket sales. That way, when ticket sales come in, that is all straight profit. And so one of those plans were for sure making sure that I bring in some other artists that are going to be able to showcase, so I can absorb some of their ticket sales and a small fee to charge them for the theater space that they'll be occupying in, which will also help me offset some of my costs. So I would just say, have a plan. Don't just go, yo, I'm going to sell this. You know what I mean? I'm going to sell this. No, like you got to have a plan in which you're going to, you know, just generate your revenue. Now, the next thing is, we all know, and I said this on this podcast before, I just uploaded a clip that you have to have multiple streams of revenue, at least 7, right? So for most business owners, that means your business has to be streaming in about 7. So, for example, like at your salon, I know you're doing hair. You might be selling products. You might be, you're doing all kinds of things. One episode you were talking about, putting on the add-ons and all of the other stuff. So making sure that your business had multiple streams of revenue, but then you started up another business. So I know multiple entrepreneurs that have a lot of LLCs. Like they don't just have one, so they have multiple LLCs because you're gonna need. I know one realtor. He gets every property he gets a new LLC for. Every property he gets a new LLC for, and that's because he's just like, yo, one pays for one thing, one pays for the other. He's like, yo, it's a cheat code. One thing pays for this, the other pays for that. This building pays for this. This LLC pays for that. Every property he gets
that he's getting and selling, or that he's getting and retaining.
He's getting retaining. So all of his, yeah. So he starts up
for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's so he can acquire the new funding for it, X, Y, and Z.
And you just said something. I think we should get to the mentality that every business or every brand should have 7 sources of income in their brand. Let's do that, because like even with my salon, I sell my add-ons is one source of income, right?
Mm-hmm.
My tips is another source of income.
Mm-hmm.
Me doing hair, that's another set of income.
Mm-hmm.
My staff, that's another set of income.
Mm-hmm.
I sell products, I sell. So let's do that.
Yeah, let's talk about the reasons why you cannot fail. Like, what can you do? So you mentioned like having multiple streams of income within your brand. What is another thing that businesses can do that will keep them from failing? So in here, definitely, I said not keeping abreast with customers' needs or the competition. I think, I hear a lot of people say, and I'm all for it, like what God has for you, God has for you. It's not for anybody else. However, that don't mean that you don't got competition out there. That don't mean that somebody ain't out there trying to steal your lunch. Like you got to keep your eyes on the prize. And I think the best way to not have to worry about competition, but keep them in the front of you is one, just know who your competition is. Know who the competition is. Know that you're like, for example, I'm in the t-shirt business, and I was the starch advocate with this with my former partner. I was just like, yo, what makes us different? Everybody makes t-shirts. Everybody. What makes us different? And so establishing your market differentiators, I think that is really a key thing, is establishing your market differentiators. And for me, I always talk when people ask me for consultation or however, I'm like, yo, how you first look at yourself, look within. What makes you different? Everybody is a different person. Everybody has a different DNA strand, right? No two people are the same. No two people think the same thoughts, right? So what makes you different? That's what's going to separate you from your competition. And you have to learn how to integrate your own oomph of your personality into your business. And I think that's what's going to make you stand out from your competition, because people buy the why, they don't buy the what all of the time. So you got to give people reason to mess with you. You know what I mean? How you feel about that?
No, for sure. I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Failing to adapt. And this one right here talks about, COVID-19. I'll read a little bit. In small businesses, as in life, things don't go as planned, whether it's responding to changing trends within our industry, unexpected events like COVID-19, natural disasters, the impact of broader economic issues such as changes in interest rate, government assistance support, or even changes in your personal situation. It's inevitable that your business will face challenges along the way. You may have to pivot away from the wrong product or service or a bad hire or an unfortunate business decision in order to survive. The most important thing in this context is to stay attuned to what is happening inside and outside of your business and be ready to respond quickly. And that stands true. Yeah.
For me, when COVID-19 happened, I had a salon and we shut down. The city shut us down with no warning.
Sheesh, Louise, how'd you survive that, yo? How'd you survive that?
I went in hustle mode. Okay. I am a hustler. I mean, people don't like to say that they're a hustler, but I'm a hustler, and I thank God for giving me that hustle mentality. I started making wigs. I was still going to the salon every single day, and I started making wigs. I was going to the hair store, and I was like, I'm gonna start making wigs. Never sold wigs before. Like, outside of my clients. I started posting me making them online. My friend had a suite. I had a suite at the time across from me, and I would put these wigs on her and do all of these different like things because nobody was getting their hair done. And I had sales in Philly, New York. I had sales everywhere. So that opened my mind up to now that I'm worldwide now. Like, stop trying to, because in my salon, I've always been like, oh, I'm only advertising to the locals because I'm not spending money on advertising. But I had people from Philly who knew me that were buying my wigs, or people who followed me and they needed wigs. And I didn't see a lot of other hairstylists. I mean, people were still doing hair, but at some point we got shut down. And I went into that. I remember I made this wig. I haven't made it since COVID, but I made this wig that was a half of a wig, right? It was a braided wig. So I braided just around the perimeter, and then they could put it up into a bun and look like they had the hair done. But in all reality, it was not, you know?
Wow.
So I just got real creative. And my friend, she was across the hall. She worked it out. She liked the model. She liked to take pictures. And she was my model.
Wow.
And every day I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's do that. And that's how I survived.
Wow. In the t-shirt business, when the pandemic hit, we lost a lot of our B2B customers because they were, you know, we were doing private schools and other businesses that were getting shirts for events, but all those events shut down. So we had to really pivot to work on more with B2C. So dealing with birthday shirt orders, so on and so forth. And we still had a couple of businesses that were buying shirts to resell to their clients and so on and so forth. But nonetheless, I didn't see business slow down. We just kind of shifted a little bit. And so it did force us to be smarter. And at the time, I was working at a private school at the time, and I was a director of admissions. And I mean, you want to talk about a shift, man. That was like that school shut down like that. And we had to shift, like everybody didn't have computers. And I'll never forget, I was preaching to the board. I was preaching to like the presidential staff. I said, yo, we have to get up on technology. And I kept saying, before COVID even hit, I said, why don't all of our kids have laptops? Why don't they have laptops? Why is there not a work at home option? As an admissions director, I was like, yo, if we open this up, because there was another CCA out there, because we were abbreviated CCA, but the CCA was a virtual school. And that gave me, I'd say, yo, why don't we, that's competition, yo. Parents were pulling their kids out to do virtual school. I said, why don't we offer a virtual school option? If for parents that I was like, that takes us outside of this margin of this local area. Why don't we offer that? Next thing you know, boom, COVID hit. Now we scrambling for computers. Wow. You know, and so even after COVID got done and I'm still working, I'm like, yo, why don't we offer? Now we done pseudo.
There's still kids who are virtual now.
Yeah. And the parents preferred the virtual because of COVID-19, because of the worries of it. I said, yo, why don't we offer this option? So now kids can take this out of state with them. And so we did that a little bit and experimented with it a little bit, and it was successful. So understanding how to adapt to the environment is extremely crucial to your business. And you got to make these decisions quickly. You cannot sit around and ponder and wait for a sign and do all of this stuff. You got to move quickly. Another one, I like this one. It was number 8. It said growing too quickly. Businesses fail from growing too quickly. I like it when that happens.
I can see that happening with, like, I'm going to use my industry. A lot of the new hairstylists that popped up, the Instagram stylists who popped up and was killing the game because they knew how to work Instagram. But some of the old school stylists who didn't have to do that, we really didn't. So I've seen a lot of Instagram people come and go because they make those millions in a month or a year. And then that next year or that next months or years to pass, they don't make enough. Yeah. So they get discouraged. Like, how did I make $1 million in 6 months? And then my next 6 months, I ain't make nothing. Yeah. I ain't doing it right no more. Yeah. I got to quit. So I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah, I can see that. If you have a really banging product that is you have very high demand and very short supply, you create kind of a feeding frenzy, and then your profit margins grow. And I think when you fail because you grow too quickly, you just weren't ready for it. You weren't.
Right. You weren't really businessy.
Yeah, you just weren't ready. Yep, you got on the wave and the wave drowned you. You know what I mean? Like,
and so that's why I think those numbers are so high, because everybody and their mom started a business during COVID.
Oh yeah. Everybody started a business.
And they weren't businessy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
no, they didn't have the mindset at all. And just, getting some extra funding, having some extra funds in their hands. And so I done heard ideas for businesses where it's just like, yo, do you understand that your business is supposed to solve a problem? It's not supposed to be something you just like to do. And it's an idea that you think that everybody would like. Like, first off, go see if people need this idea, right? You got to test the market. Failing to hire and retain the right people. I like how it said hire and retain. Like, hire and retain, like have a plan. Like, high turnover is not a good thing. If your business has a high turnover, you need to work out your structure a little bit better and how you support your employees. And you need to figure out that you got to hire employees. I see a lot of businesses fail because they're absorbing most of their time doing all of the work themselves. And even I had to learn that valuable lesson myself and get some employees in and make sure that we can sing, we preach it to the choir at this point. Some people have rules. I heard somebody say one time in one webinar, he's like, I didn't hire employees, so I started making six figures, and I wouldn't recommend that. I couldn't do that. I couldn't wait till we hit the six-figure mark because I was being swamped with orders and I needed help. You know what I mean? And then even in getting them on and onboarding, I'm like, all right, well, now that this is picking up, I also need another stream of revenue. I got to go do that, but I need somebody to handle the social media. You know what I mean? Because that takes its own toll and time to edit and do all of that other stuff. So hiring people became a thing. And now that we got our kind of our Voltron building up, my goal is making sure that these people know, I need you in these positions a year from now. This is not a fly by night thing. So one thing that I do for sure is I invest in the people that come and work for me. So even my interns that come, I invest in their dreams. And how do I invest? It's not like, I give them money for their dreams. No, I actually just take the time to talk to them about their dreams. Yeah. It's that simple. Like, I nurture and culture them, and you do the same thing, making sure that they feel inspired, making sure they feel encouraged, making sure they know that we care about them, that we're not just treating them like task rabbits. So when you get your employees, don't treat them like Pharaoh would treat the Hebrew slaves. You know what I mean? You can't be cracking that whip. What you think about that?
No, that's something that you've taught me. Yeah. Because I was, not really having as much success as you was, and you set me down and was like, no, you got to do X, Y, and Z with the people who work for you. So it's not that I didn't do it because I just didn't know. I just didn't, I didn't take the time, and since I started nurturing relationships, I have seen a change. So
Facts, yo. Nurturing relationships. And number 10, they say here, not asking for support. I like that one. Closed mouths don't get fed. Mm-hmm. Closed mouths don't get fed. Forbes had another top 10. They had a couple of other things. Not putting customers first. We talked about that. Not prioritizing sustainability. That was one of them. I like that.
Yeah. You have to. That's a big one. I don't do that, but that it will make sense to do that. Mm-hmm. You know what works and what doesn't.
Yep. I think sustainability, we don't think about it when you're just running in your business and you just think that it's going to be here forever. But once again, anything can happen. It's going to force you to adapt. And so sustainability.
I'm sorry, yo.
Listen, my nose is itching. I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on. People don't think I do something like I got a habit or something. We all face in these videos.
A net just went.
They're trying to attack you. What's on your jaw?
Sorry.
But understanding sustainability is a thing. And it's going to change. Like, how do you plan on staying sustainable? How do you plan on staying sustainable? Lack of authenticity and transparency was number 10 on this. I like that one.
With the Joneses,
trying to keep up with the Joneses, being something that you're not,
seeing a competition doing one thing, like, I got
to
yep.
Let me do it exactly the same way. Like, once again, like, that was their idea. Like, now there's nothing wrong with taking a concept and remodeling it, you know what I mean? Like, and that's if that concept is for you, but don't go trying to do what the other competition is doing because they're doing it and you see it working for them. It's working for them because God gave it to them.
Yep.
And it's just like, even if you go like McDonald's, you'll see a McDonald's, a Burger King, and a Wendy's on the same block, but they fries don't taste the same. Now they all sell fries, but they fries don't taste the same. Their stuff is simply different. So you got to throw your different spin on it. But nonetheless, there was another one, not treating data as a key business asset. Now you know I'm a data nerd.
That's gonna hit the data nerds because I'm like, but yeah, that hit you in your soul. You felt that
in my soul. Listen, you gotta pay attention to the numbers.
You know.
All right, let's talk about why businesses succeed. Why do you think some businesses would succeed?
I think businesses succeed because business owners are running businesses. I think people who really start these businesses, they don't have an option B. So for me, the people that I see winning, the people I see succeeding is they don't have another choice.
They ain't got no choice.
So I think that businesses are succeeding because we know that this is it. Like for me, being a business owner is it. I could go and get a job, but I would never be satisfied on a job because I know what I could be doing. I like my financial freedom. I like my time freedom. You know, I like to be my own boss. I work best for myself. So I am going to always win as an entrepreneur because I know that it's going to be trial and error. I know it's going to be good times and bad times, and I know how to rotate through them. I know how to maneuver. Like I said, when COVID happened, I could have completely failed. Businesses fell during COVID.
Yeah.
But I think businesses are succeeding because business owners are running businesses, and everybody is not a business owner.
That's a fact. And if you have just a good idea and you put it out there and people are buying your product and you have a good product that solves a good problem, but you're not a business owner, you need to partner with somebody that is. Like you just need to get that on your side, but also knowing your lane, knowing what you can and cannot do, you know, and notice and like the last thing said, not asking for support. So making sure that you ask for support in those areas in which you know you're not strong in. And so I did look this up in Forbes on number 9, unwavering belief. Just exactly what you said pretty much. And it says every business's success revolves around taking risks. Successful startups are prepared to take risk. As they say, the most profitable investments usually require high amounts of risk. However, such decisions need to have a solid due diligence in order to avoid as much as possible the downfall in the event things don't turn out as they were expected, which is often the case. Unwavering belief that you will always end up good.
And you got to know yourself. Like for me, I'm not a big data person. I'm not a big research person, but I know me and I know what works and what don't work. So me taking a risk is kind of about betting on me. I know I'm going to make this work. And so you have to have that. And you said something that was key, that some people start these businesses, but they're not a business owner, or they don't have that business ethic. And maybe you can still be a business owner to sell ideas. Like maybe that's your business.
That's your thing. You come up with great ideas.
Coming up with a great product and then selling that product to somebody else. Like the people who has McDonald's, they're not the original owners. So coming up with a great concept and then saying, okay, this is a great concept, let me sell it. You know, so that could be a business. You got to know what you can do. And some business owners are they are business owners, but they don't know how to put the work in. Like I can run, I know how to work every aspect of my business. Like I could be the social media girl, I could be the coach, I could be the marketing girl, I could be the email girl. I can run every aspect. I'm a worker for my business. So you got to know what you're good at and what you're not good at.
Yeah, and so here are the top 10. Here goes Forbes top 10 reasons. So number 1 is vision. This is why businesses succeed. So vision. 2, speed. 3, budget masters. 4, social skills. 5, discipline. 6, determination. 7, the ability to adapt to changes. 8, fundraising skills. 9, unwavering belief. And 10, master of time management. 11, they put execution. I like that because execution is paramount. But what stood out to me was the fundraising skills, because you got some fundraising skills.
That stood out to me. That stood out to me. Fundraising skills. You gotta know how to get to $1 when you need to get to $1.
Gotta know how to get to $1. Listen, I love it best how I was listening to one. I love to listen to millionaire and billionaire conversations because I'm on my road. And so one of the dudes said, listen, we gotta understand, we don't make money. The Federal Reserve makes money. That's who prints out the cash. We take money from other people. That's what we do. We are taking money from other people. Even if you're going to work, you're putting in your time to take money out of that job's bank from what they made from what you did. You know what I mean? For what you did. And so we got to understand that we're taking money in that sense. And so you have to know how to get money out of people's hands. And once again, it is huge. You got that skill. You got that skill because you can. I raised this amount. I got this done. I got that. But you also got to know that you got to raise that. So, like, even when I was talking about doing my shows, I had no idea. And people were like, "Oh, you can get sponsors." I'm like, "All right, how?" Right? What do people sponsor? And so you go, and most people would think, "Oh, I'll draft up a letter and give it to businesses, and they'll put an ad in my book." All right, now you raise $500, but your budget is $10,000.
And you still got to pay for that book.
Yep, you still got to pay for the book. $500 literally pays for that book.
Yeah.
So, yeah, understanding how to even fundraise, the structure of fundraising, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Knowing how to hustle, knowing how to talk to people.
Knowing how to hustle, know how to talk to people.
I don't know why my nose is itching. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just going to scratch it too.
Like, no, I'm joking.
Might be the dust on this mic.
Yeah, but no, that's definitely a thing. And people need to understand that you have to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
You cannot be out here. You can't be out here asking people for your money and you can't ask people to invest into you and you're not investing into yourself.
Well, that's a fact. And even how it talks about I mentioned risk earlier. I was talking to somebody, they were calling me up. It was a cousin. And she was just trying to understand. I love the questions that she asked. She was just like, and a lot of them were like, yo, how do you go about, her thing was really like, how do you get the courage to do what you just do? And I was like, listen, it's practice. You put it into practice, but the big risk, you get bigger rewards. If you taking small risk, if you're not investing big into yourself, then you only gonna get a little bit of small reward, and that's good. Clap it up. And if you like small rewards, then yeah, go for it. You know what I mean? Like
it's almost, that just reminded me of the lottery.
Yeah.
People that play lottery, like they spend hundreds of dollars on a lottery.
Yeah.
But the people like me that go and think I'm gonna get that $1 scratch off and win $10 million, I never win. But I'm not willing to put that risk into the lottery. Like I don't.
Yeah.
That's where I like. But I know people who've played the lottery for long, and when they hit, it's like you're just getting your money back. Yeah. But the chances of hitting are greater when you spend more money. When you go to the casino, if you put $20 in a machine, you can lose that in 3 minutes. But if you stay there and you put $100 in the first time and not 25, 10, like people who play the penny machine, I'm like,
good luck.
You may win $100, but you're paying a penny. But if you go to the dollar machine, you can win.
You up the ante. Yep. So
you got to put that money in. If you want to make money, you got to put money in. If, like you say, you do a little risk, you're going to get a little reward. If you do big risks, you'll get big rewards.
Facts. I actually really like this list of why they succeed. I can go on all day, but we're going to wrap it up real soon. Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. Because it's good though. Vision, I love vision.
Vision is great.
You have to be able to see where you're going in order to get there. One conversation I was listening to, and the guy was like, the pilot, it was a reel that I was doing, and he was like, yo, the pilot needs to know where he's going in order to get on the airplane. Like when he gets on the airplane, if he does not have a destination, where is he going to take this plane? You got to have a vision. You got to know where you're going. I like speed.
I don't know where you're going. And sometimes you have to tell your people where you're going.
Where you're going.
You can't know where you're going and keep it to yourself and expect people to follow you.
Yep. And you're going to need people to follow you, which brings me to the one that social skills. I think social skills is a totally like, if you are not a good people person, if you get pissed off easily, if people piss you off, if you're an introvert and you don't like talking to people, like, listen,
are you yelling at me?
I have to yell this. You think I'm yelling at you? Nah, you're good with people. You're real good with people. Believe it or not, you're real good with people, but you have to have social skills. And most people, like, especially our introverts out there, they don't like social media. They don't like being in front of the camera. You got to get over that. You got to get over that or get somebody that does, because people connect with brands and people connect with faith. So like, even if you don't want to, like Ronald McDonald, you ain't never going to see, for McDonald's, you ain't never going to see Ray Kroc. Ray Kroc's dead, but you ain't see Ray Kroc. You saw Ronald McDonald, but you saw a face. You saw something that connected you to the brand. You know, Wendy's has Dave Thomas and Wendy's, the girl Wendy's, you know what I mean? But you have to have something visual to connect people to their brand. Social skills, discipline, determination, all key factors. And that other one, master of your time management, knowing your time. I'm reading this book, 4 Hour Work Week, and that's exactly what it talks about, a lot of time management. And the biggest one is execution, y'all. So I hope, we gave y'all some gems.
I hope you liked it. I hope you grabbed it.
For real.
And I hope these lists, the why you fell, if you have some of those attributes on that list, change them. And if you have some attributes on the why you succeed, just know that succession is on the way.
Yeah. Biggest fact, y'all. So I'm gonna just run it down really quick. So listen, y'all, do your research before you get into a business. Your business should solve a problem. Have a business plan. Just look up business plan templates, and listen, business plans can be extremely extensive. But once you start, it becomes a working, moving document. It's not something that just is done. You make a business plan. No, that's my business plan. No, it updates itself. Go for that business funding. Get your credit up. Get that credit card, start your business, but also have a way that your business is paying that back down, because you want to keep your credit up. Financial management. Know how to budget. If you're bad with money, get good with money, or get somebody that is good with money. Get good with keeping a spreadsheet, because you got to know what's coming out and you got to know what's coming in. You got to know your profit and loss every month. I had to hire somebody because I didn't have the time to do my profit and loss spreadsheet, but I wanted to be able to look at my profit and loss spreadsheet every single month. And so I got that person doing it. So each and every month now, I'm like, okay, we're here. Okay, we're there. We got to cut costs here. We got to bring things there, X, Y, and Z. Poor marketing. Oh gosh. Now, as the brand man, I can go on marketing all day. Like y'all gotta learn how to market. Y'all gotta even know what marketing is. Some people think that marketing is promoting. No. Marketing. Some people think marketing is sales. No, no. Like marketing is knowing your market, knowing your niche,
talking to those people.
And getting right there to those people, bringing the solutions to your market's problem. I mean, bringing the solution to your market's problems. I said that right. 6, not keeping abreast with your customers' needs or the competition. Make sure you just paying attention to your customers, so they don't go to the competition, because the competition is always out there. Failing to adapt. Always be adaptable, y'all. Y'all got to be like a chameleon out this joint. Growing too quickly. Listen, if you're growing too quickly and that's causing you a problem, that means you need to revamp your plan. You need to hire some people, and you need to get in there and get some intelligence. Like the best thing I would say in that case is get either a mentor or what do they call it? A consultant. You gotta get smart real quick. That's really what that means. Failing to hire and retain. All right, y'all, we are done. Check us out on all platforms. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, all of that good stuff. Peace, y'all. Love.